I love disturbing movies, and is there a problem with me? Yes, definitely. My first experience with a movie that was even a little bit disturbing was whenever I watched The Ring as a kid. I walked into the room as my mum was watching it, and it scared me. I could not sleep for a very, very long time. And I think from that moment, I was kind of like fascinated by weird and just kind of like disturbing movies, because right now I feel like nothing really impacts me. I'm so desensitized, and that's just not good, because every single time something horrible is on the screen in a movie or on a TV show, everybody around me reacts like a normal person, whereas I react kind of just like normal, and I don't think that's good. I don't think that's good at all. And as I was growing up, I discovered the world of Two Girls, One Cup, One Guy, One Jar, the Pain Olympics, and other things I definitely cannot put up on the screen right now because I will get in a lot of trouble. But if you know, you know. I think the last movie to make me feel really, really disturbed and kind of like genuinely freak out was Martyrs. And that movie still sticks with me. So I guess I'm not entirely desensitized, but that movie, it messed me up. It messed me up. So I want to challenge myself. Can I watch the most disturbing movie I can find on Letterboxd? I'm going to be entirely honest with you. I did very, very little research on this. I literally went onto Letterboxd, looked up disturbing movies, found the first film that I haven't watched, and I was like, hey, I'm going to watch that. So let's cross my toes and fingers that this is going to be a very disturbing movie, because yep, I hope so. This movie is called Tusk from 2014. I know nothing about this movie, and I feel like that's probably the best way to go into this. So I'm going to stop talking and let's go watch Tusk, and hopefully it's going to really mess with me and like mess with my head, and hopefully I'm going to freak out. I don't know. Let's go.
I love you, Woz. Don't ever forget that.
I genuinely think that was the worst movie I have watched all year. That was awful. I cannot get over how, like, do you ever watch a movie and it just ruins your entire day because the movie's just that bad? That is genuinely how I feel about Tusk. I was sold an idea, and that idea was that this is the most disturbing body horror type movie that I could find on Letterboxd. Right? Granted, I did very, very little research, and that is kind of my fault. But I was told that this movie is horrible, it's disgusting, blah, 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 blah. But basically, this entire movie is just an idea that somebody had, and they kind of like got so lost in the sauce that it became the messiest, most boring. Like, how do you take a concept like this and turn it into something extremely boring? I will tell you the concept and synopsis of this movie, but that genuinely, the worst movie I think I've watched all year. That was disappointing, really annoying. This movie has, just to say, there will be spoilers in this video, but this movie, what did I just say? There will be spoilers in this video, but in this movie we have a surprise cameo from Johnny Depp. Makes no sense. How do you have Johnny Depp in your body horror type horror comedy movie and still make it boring? It makes absolutely no sense. But anyway, what is this movie about? Well, it's about a podcaster who travels to Canada to interview a strange man, only to be kidnapped and then surgically transformed into a walrus. Kind of sounds like Human Centipede, and you're kind of like, how do you kind of like take this and make it really bad? But I will tell you, it's the genres for this movie were horror, comedy. And whenever I see those two words together, I'm always like so unsure, because I'm like, how can you make things suspenseful, scary, but also funny at the same time? Maybe, just maybe, I'm not going to look at the ratings of this movie, and maybe this movie is going to get it right. And we're going to have kind of like a bit of comedic relief, but actually a bit of a body horror. Nice, and like a really interesting premise, something kind of scary. But I was just a little bit unsure. And you know, initially, the setup, I actually do think it worked, because the premise was weird but also interesting. I was definitely quite intrigued. And the first act builds tension really nicely, because we have this podcaster who's making these really, really cringy jokes that I was like willing to look past. And he meets this strange man, and this strange man is like, I was just intrigued. And then slowly through the cracks, I noticed that this movie was very, very slow. Not much really happened. They had to kind of like overlay this footage from the past from this man when he was like a sailor and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, they chucked this in definitely in post-production, because they realized how boring this movie is, because the dialogue just could not hold the attention of any viewer. And I kind of thought it would go in a surreal, disturbing direction in a really, really good way, but does that happen? No, this movie just like, oh. This movie is just genuinely an example of what if we actually had like an idea about a man who's like disturbed for no reason, really. We're not really gonna dive into that aside from his he had trauma, his whatever. We're not really gonna dive into that. And what if he just like turns everybody into a walrus? That is literally what this movie is. It's so irritating. But basically, let's talk about the podcasters and the characters within this movie. It's two white guys who are podcasters. And you know what? As a joke, like as the comedy part in this movie, that would have really worked because it's obviously meant to like parody obnoxious like internet personalities, whatever. We all know the two white guys that have a podcast where they talk about absolutely nothing, just like chicken fillet rolls or like the size of crisps getting smaller every year, just the most like depthless thing ever. And we have Justin Long who plays the lead, and if you know who Justin Long is, well, he's from the iconic movie Alvin and the Chipmunks, and I actually kind of like him. And to be honest, as an actor within this movie, he was the best. He was the best actor in this movie by a mile. Listen, I'm not going to talk about Johnny Depp's cameo. I'll just put in the clip.
Where do we go first?
Now, where is for the wolf, we look for the witch. As in, which one of you knows this missing podcaster the best?
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, so on the phone message, it said that he was driving for like 2 hours or something. So you know him best. You know what he likes to do when he drives, because nobody does nothing in a car. Does he smoke the cigarettes? Does he chew the tobaccos or toothpicks? Does he drink the coffees? Does he have some other thing? I don't know. Me.
Why is Johnny Depp in this movie? Like, I'm not even joking. This movie just has that one little idea where what if we turn people into a walrus? And that's it. Nothing else happens. And because of that, the body horror obviously fails. There's no body horror because in a body horror, you want to see the transformations. You want to see the process of turning a man into a walrus. That is fascinating. And if it was actually shown, I would be like, whoa, this movie actually like showed us something really, really disturbing. But we see no transformation, only the final product. And for a body horror movie, apparently, it's just extremely tame, and it relies more on suggestion and reaction more than just like anything disturbing visually. And what we do see is just so underwhelming and not impactful. And the things we do see, this movie is an hour and 40, and I would say out of the entire movie, we probably see like 5 minutes of the actual walrus, and the rest is Johnny Depp doing a really boring accent and like these really lame jokes that don't land. But as I was watching this, I was thinking, you know what? How this thing would actually work, how this movie would work, it would work better as a play, because I feel like with the limited locations and the focus on the dialogue, this would make a lot more sense on a stage. Like, I can actually see this on a stage, and as the stage play thingy-majig, it would actually work because the absurdity and the psychological angle might actually have more of an impact. And on the screen, it just feels like really boring and drawn out, but on the stage, I think you could have a lot of fun with it, shock the audiences, show the practical transformations, the practical effects of the man turning into a walrus and the final product, and have these conversations. I think as a play, it would be absolutely incredible. My final thoughts are this film just feels like it does not know what it wants. It started strong, it kind of committed to the bit, and then it just lost momentum, and it's not scary, it's not funny, and it's just extremely boring. It just feels like one of those movies that's just trying to shock you for the sake of it and has no depth. And do not watch Tusk. It is so boring. I just got like... Have you watched Tusk? What did you think of the movie? Please let me know. I'm very curious. Does anyone actually like this movie? If you do, please let me know why, because maybe I'm just like a little like crabbit old man, like this angry little old man who just doesn't understand. Please let me know. I'm so curious. And if you haven't watched this movie, don't. It's not even good bad. It's just bad. So yeah. But that's everything I have to say about Tusk. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.